The great hill that rises above the traveller, behind Prima Porta at the 9th mile, is the podium of the Villa ad Gallinas Albas. Livia Drusilla brought this as dowry to the Emperor Augustus when she married him in the 1st century BC. In the 2 succeeding centuries, the villa had numerous arrangements up to the Severan age, when a part of it accommodated a public bath. Buried in time, it was rediscovered by archaeologists in the 1800s.
Livia's villa was a suburban residence rising on the hill of Prima Porta, on the 9th mile of the ancient Via Flaminia, and facing the Tiber Valley. To the north, a small square indicated the entrance. The first space that was encountered, the heart of the house, Domus, was the entrance hall, whose ceiling and skylight, impluvium, allowed for ventilation and the collection of rainwater. This space accommodated the Lararium, the place for the cult of the Lares, the divinities of the house. Outside, the entrance hall to the south leads to the private area. Livia's villa displays different phases of its life. Based on the floors and decorations, it is possible to identify at least 5 phases of construction. The first is related to the Republican age, that is, thermal baths are one of the favorite pastimes of we Roman patricians, and there is no nobleman who would not have one built in his house. It seems that in the villa you could still be back in the times of Livia and Augustus, but we do not know what they were like in their age. This system was the work of the Severan family. There are dressing rooms, rooms for massages. The most important areas are the frigidarium, equipped with bathtubs of cold water, and the calidarium, for warm baths. Doctors advise alternating temperatures to improve blood circulation. The calidarium is heated through a system of underground passages fed by a fire that burns in an adjacent underground area. The reconstructions of Livia's villa that we are proposing derive partially from the interpretation of remains and recognizable structures on site, and partially. There remains very little of the wall decorations. Nevertheless, this part of the building, from the very beginning, was of refined beauty. It was used for receiving guests and entertaining. Its center is a great hall where many receptions took place. It was constructed on the ruins of the underground room, a series of rooms with richly decorated walls and floors, connected by an external corridor. The most external area comprises also two small service rooms, a lavatory, and a heated room that are still visible, and the rest.
Come in, gentlemen. Be seated. You are not limited to the usual salutes and homage. Today I want to spend a little time with you. Here in the formal dining room, we will be much more comfortable. We will be able to speak in peace, protected from the morning sun. Remember the times before the Civil War and my ascendancy to power, the dangers of ambush along the roads of the empire, and our efforts to restore unity among the populace. Power cannot be imposed by the sword alone. But a political personage can never forget his clients, those who supported him in his ascent, who built up consensus, the votes they brought and support through their contact with the people. And I have never failed to listen to you, above all since becoming emperor. It is most important to learn from you, who are nearer the population, what the Romans think, the landlords of the world, and what you feel.
Oh, hail. Excuse me, but I'm a little busy. I'm Ludius, one of the most famous painters in Rome. I'm just finishing the decoration of this room. Is it a difficult job? It requires ability, experience, and above all, speedy execution. The word fresco says it all. Freshly painted. You see, the colour is spread quickly on the fresh plaster that is still wet to enable a chemical reaction that sets the paint. It is a very ancient technique and comprises various phases of work. A rough underlayer is added down the wall structure, which is the first layer, and then a smoother coating that is thinner. You know, at the beginning of my career painting, I helped myself by tracing with red pigment on the rough plaster. Practically the whole preparatory design. You come too. Explore this wonderful garden.
Welcome to my private garden. You see, from this fresh-air open gallery facing our bedchambers. The rooms where the revered imperial family sleeps. This was already a garden full of plants when the villa belonged to my family. Here, after giving instructions to the servants, I like to retire and rest. And do nothing? No, no. Leisure for us means